Hello, my name is Maria, and welcome to my stamping world. Ever since I posted this card on my blog, a lot of demonstrators have asked me, how did you do that? And that's referring to the edging that I have done around this globe. And today I'm going to show you how I did that using a border punch. The materials that you're going to need is a stamp with in a circle image. You're also going to need a border punch, and you can use this, the Scallop Heart one, or the Scallop border punch, or this for any one of the border edge punches that normally you would think of punching only in a straight line. But you can punch these in a circle if you know how to do them. I'm going to show you using one of the border punches. Now, another thing that you might like to use is a piece of twine, and you say, oh, why would she do that? Well, you need to measure around the circumference of the circle to figure out how long a piece of cardstock you're going to need to punch. You're also going to need a pair of scissors. And another thing that I find very handy to do this is a page of sticky strip. And I find that the punches can't cut them very well. They get stuck. So I have the Circles number 3 die, and I have cut one of these out, and that just happens to fit the exact size of circle in my card. Now, after you've stamped and punched out your circle image, then with the piece of twine, just measure the circumference of the circle the best way that you can, and then transpose that onto a ruler. And you see we're going to need 7 inches of punched cardstock to go around the circle. Then with the punch, whichever one you've chosen, and I'll just use the Scallop border punch as an example, you just punch 7 inches. Now you don't need that thickness, so you just trim it until you have a smaller. And it doesn't matter which one of the border punches you choose to use. The principles are the same. Once you have punched a strip, you just take your scissors and you make a V-shaped notch where the borders, where the scallops intersect. In other words, right here, and right here, and right here. So you just make a V-shaped notch. All the way along. I've done one so that you could see what it looks like. I've also done the other punch, which is the Scallop trim border punch, and I've done the same thing. I have cut out a length of 7 inches, and then with my scissors I have trimmed some little notches along the other side, and that's so that you can go around the corner a little easier. Actually, this is an old trick from sewing. When I used to sew a narrow strip around a corner, I used to notch out little pieces of material, and those of you who sew can well understand what I'm talking about. So there's that punch, there's this punch, and here's the other punch. Now the next thing to do is you want to put it on the back of that and make it so that it frames your focal image. Now I really like the sticky pages the best to put a sticky surface on the back of this. I already have one put on here. It's a little bit smaller, but it works just the same because it has two sticky surfaces. One which adheres to, you take this off and you would then stick it to the back of your circle, and then you would peel the orange layer off, which I'm about to do with this one. And then you have, it's almost like, well, a big piece of double-sided tape. Now, you can use sticky strip if you like. The only thing I find with that is that you can only put on about 2 inches or 1.5 inch of tape at a time. And then it just comes it makes it just a little bit more labor intensive. So that's why I like this better. But if you don't have it, you can use the sticky strip. So now I take the cover off, and I don't know if you can see the sticky. Okay, let's lay that down. And notice that I have cut all these little triangles on the side opposite where I have punched with the scallop. And if you look at your image, you don't want to be starting at the top because you're going to probably have a little bit of an overlap, and your eye naturally goes to the top of your image. Start at the side or near the bottom and just lay it so that the part of the image that you want is going to be over the edge. And if you look at the back, you'll see that the scallop is right over the glued edge. And you just work your way around. Just do maybe 2 or 3 scallops at a time. Your fingers will stick, but that's okay. They can unstick. There. Hope you can see what I'm doing here. And you just do a few at a time. See how that's gathering in on the back? This is what it looks like on the front. Okay, and when you're finished, you just bring it all the way around. And when you're finished, it looks like this. Okay, and my overlap was over here on this side. Now I've taken the scallop border punch and I've done that in the scallop, and that looks just as nice. And if you were to do, I'll just tear this one off and show you what this one would look like. Start it a little ways away. And this one looks kind of nice for a nautical theme as well. It almost looks like little anchors in the middle. And that's what that one looks like. So you can do it for any of the border punches. You just follow the principles. You just make a narrow strip, cut some triangular, almost like little teeth, you might say, and this allows the strip to bend and shape into a circle. Use some double-sided tape, whether it's the sticky pages or the sticky strip, and use that as an adhesive on the back. You want something that's going to stick really well. And then in the end, you have a card that has a focal image that is surrounded by a nice scallop punch. Thank you very much for watching.